Yeah, so today I wanted to talk to you about veganism because, as far as I know, you are vegan, right, Steph?
Yes, I am.
So the reason I wanted to speak to you about it is because I have been vegan on and off for probably about 3 years now,
Yeah.
and I'm finding it so difficult to stick with it, and
Mhm.
I've come across so many people who find it difficult to stick with. Um, And I think it is such an important, like, every time I go vegan, I feel so much better in my body and I feel so much better in my mind and just everything feels better. And I don't even know why I digress to not being vegan again. Like what makes me eat animal products again. I think it might be a matter of just like accessibility. Animal products are, I find, cheaper, well, not necessarily, but like most of the time it's just what's around you. And it's just like if you go to a restaurant, like, you know, the food that's like nicer is non-vegan. And I'm just like wanting to speak to you about it to like help me and help people out there who, a lot of people are like me,
Mhm.
struggling with this and like who want to be vegan but find it very difficult, and how you got there and how you stuck with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so um, the answer is very simple. Don't be that hard on yourself. So I think the people are scared of being vegan because then they have to give up a lifestyle. They have to give up eating meat, and they don't want to face that. So what I want to say to the viewers out there that that don't want to go vegan because of that reason, instead of thinking about it in that way, carry on with whatever you're doing, carry on with the diet that you have, and just go vegan. And vegan in the sense of start eating vegan food and start incorporating that into your diet, and then slowly moving away from eating meat. Because this isn't about, it's not this naughty badge that you're putting on of oh look, I'm vegan, or oh look, I'm not eating meat or animal products. It's
Mm.
about the more you move into that well, there's a whole bunch of benefits. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you should go vegan. So we'll talk about those just now. But
Mm.
in the first place, don't be that strict on yourself, because I think what the mistake a lot of people make is they think it's either do or don't. This either or. You can't have both. So now, because they aren't willing to give up the one, they don't ever experience the other. Like I've said it a few times before. I think anyone that would actually live in a vegan household and actually experience vegan food for just a week, if you had to actually eat proper, good, decent vegan food for just a week, you won't want to eat other food. It's so much better. You
Yeah.
feel so much better.
Yeah.
It tastes better. Like, yeah, sure, you get you meat lovers out there, I get it. Meat is great. It tastes great. Vegan food's better. I'm sorry. Live with a vegan for a week. You'll see it for yourself. So,
So now,
Cara,
sorry, just
coming and on top of that, Cara, I have to come clean with you. I
mm,
I am not strict on myself. So for the last 5 years, I have been vegan. But now, when we look at the social construct and the way the world is established and everything, I mean, just going to visit a friend, if you go to visit a friend that's a meat eater and you tell them that you're vegan, they're going to serve you up frozen veggies, which
yeah.
which are like peas and carrots, and then expect you to eat that and be happy and satisfied. No.
Mm.
So in cases like that, I would say just eat what they eat. That's what I do, is I eat what they eat. But when I get home, what I do is, whenever I go grocery shopping, I buy vegan because I prefer it.
Okay, cool. That's actually really nice to know because that's this is actually what my obstacle was, is that I would go somewhere else
Mhm.
and then there would only be meat products as an option. And then I would obviously eat that. And then because I ate it, I would be like, well, if I ate it there, then I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just like eat it everywhere, like whatever. If I
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
so I would have that black and white thinking when it came to food. Like, and
Well, transcending duality, isn't it?
exactly,
So
exactly.
it's
That's just
it applies here just the same. It doesn't have to be a
it
black and white thing.
does. Yeah, it actually
there,
does.
there are so many positive reasons why we should eat vegan, and there's so many negative reasons why we shouldn't eat meat. So just do it more and more, and just do it because it is a positive, and just see it as a positive when you're doing it. And when you're not doing it, it's okay. You're just living your, it's just life, you know?
Yeah. Okay, well, that's really great to know,
Yeah.
because that's great to know, because that's what I've been doing. And then so when I make my own food at home, when I buy my own groceries, everything will be 100% vegan.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I do try and implement it even more when I am away from the house. Um, and yeah, so one thing that I really struggled with as well was when people would say, like, do you have any dietary restrictions, whatever, and then I would say, like, yeah, I'm vegan, but then I would feel bad because it's like they're putting in so much effort for me, and, like, you know what I mean, and then
Hmm.
like I would eat meat just because I feel bad for the extra effort.
There's two sides to this. There's on the first side, it's not being strict on yourself. You don't have to be strict. You are trying to be the best person that you can possibly be, and as long as you keep doing that, then you will be the best version of yourself. And that's what we need to focus on. And then secondly, the other side of things is understanding the reasons why we choose to eat vegan, and how important it actually is. And if we take into consideration how important it is, we
Mm,
we need to establish a priority. We need to say how much of a priority it actually is. So if we look at all the negative aspects of eating meat, firstly, for your own health, it's not good to eat meat. There's so many health implications and dangers with diseases that you only get from eating meat. Food goes off a lot faster when you eat meat. And then there's just the fact that you can't actually eat meat with any good conscience. Well, it depends. There's varying degrees to this. If you bring up an animal by yourself in your own yard, and make sure that it has a good life beforehand, um, and then afterwards slaughter it yourself, so that you actually become aware of what you are actually doing. That
mm,
to consume something, nutrition that you can get elsewhere, that you really don't need from an animal, you are taking a life. So take that
mm,
life by yourself, so that you're actually conscious of instead of having this disconnect of going to a supermarket and buying a piece of meat, and having a complete disconnect where you're not even aware that, like, you know it's an animal, but you're not actually conscious of the fact that you took a life to eat that.
mm.
So be
Exactly.
aware of what you're doing. If you are actually aware of it and you still decide to do it and you're okay with it, then okay, that's a step further. So there's the factor that you're taking a life, but then there's also the environmental influence that farming has on our environment, where the forests are being so we have rainforests that are being deforested, and everything turned into grasslands because of uh, cattle herding and all of that. So
Yeah.
there's massive environmental implications that we need to be conscious of. So it always comes back to do whatever is you feel is best in that moment. Make the best decisions that you can, but be be damn aware of everything, that the actual implications, and what's actually
Mm.
going on. And
Exactly. Like, I say that all the time. It's like you've got to know that it's like you're actually eating a cow right now. Like, this is
yeah,
not just like a piece of steak. Like, this is a cow, this is a pig. Like,
yeah,
you've got
and,
to
and
have that.
that's the other problem, is this image that's been created in our minds through our upbringing. It's that it's okay to eat a cow, but it's not okay to eat a dog. It's the same damn
Mm,
thing. It's an
yeah.
animal.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as eating a human being. I'm sorry, but it all falls into the same thing.
Yeah. But it's also like, I think what I said in the transcendent duality video is that human beings have, fallen out of the habit of being connected to their roots. And that's exactly what the food industry does,
Hmm.
is that it disconnects us from that point
Exactly.
of nature. It completely separates nature and, like, society. So now we're eating, packaged meat, and we're not actually we don't have a connect to our food anymore. We're not connected to the things that we're putting into our body
Mhm.
at all, you know. And it's such a spiritual thing to do, to actually be connected to your food. And I think like if you're gonna decide to eat meat, and listen, like certain people actually do need to eat meat, like for certain blood types and stuff, like some people can't actually function.
Mhm.
um so if you're gonna eat meat, you should know exactly what you're eating. Like I was listening to this podcast, Joe Rogan talking to Miley Cyrus,
Oh, wow.
and she was
Okay.
talking yeah, she was talking about how she used to be vegan and then she couldn't anymore because like she's a performer, so she like uses up a lot of energy, so she needs to like, eat, get all that source of protein and stuff. Like she needs a hell of a lot of it, so she eats meat now. And then she
I'm
said the
I'm
first
I'm not too I'm not too sure if I believe that. Like we'll put it there. It's up for debate, and everyone
yeah, I'm
do your own
also
research. But my personal experience, like maybe it's my blood type or whatever, but it could be. But from my experience, I have a shitload more energy when I go vegan
mm,
than if I'm eating meat. And if you think about, so what happens when you eat meat? Meat also takes a lot longer to digest. So it
digest,
sucks up all of your energy to digest this piece of meat. And what people
yeah,
need to think about is I mean, people are so obsessed with weight and all of that stuff, and the perfect figure and all that. Not that that's a good thing to do, but going vegan is exactly what you need for that. It gives you energy. You move around a lot more. You don't put on weight in any case, because there's it's not a kind of food that will make you put on weight.
mm. No, that's so true. So
Yeah,
it really does help. It benefits people in so many ways.
yeah.
um but it is interesting to me that people's, I don't know, I just think like the human body, everyone's body is so different, and like different diets work differently for different people. I mean, like some people go vegan and they end up putting on weight. I mean, I've heard that.
Okay.
Um, so, I mean, for me, it was the complete opposite. It's like it really benefited me in every single way. It actually like helped my mentality so much. Like I became more energetic. Like I
Hmm.
felt happier. I
Hmm.
felt better about myself. Like I looked better. My skin was better. Everything was better. But for some people, it doesn't work that way. Miley Cyrus in particular.
Okay.
um, yeah. So basically she was just saying that she like needed it to perform and things like that. And then she said that the first non-vegan meal she ate was a fish, and she started crying because she like loves fish so much, which I think is a bit like ridiculous. It's like but
Yeah.
yeah, but basically I just find it very interesting that like she at least had that connect to her food. She at least was connected, and she was like upset that she was eating the fish.
Yeah.
Which i
Exactly. At
think
least
i
be
think
conscious of what you're doing. Yeah.
exactly. And I think like people need to own that. If you're going to eat a steak, you have a cry about it before eating it. So like feel something feel something towards it. Have at least a little bit of an emotional connect
Yeah.
to what you're
See,
putting in your body.
that's why where I would bring it back to raising the animal yourself, or like actually slaughtering the animal yourself. Like I don't want to create a bunch of psychopaths that are capable of killing now, but that's what I believe will happen is when it actually comes down to it, when you actually have to take the life yourself, then you become
Mm,
aware of the fact that you're taking a life, and I think that'll stop a lot of people from doing it. I mean,
exactly.
I've heard of people. I know a lot of people that wouldn't be capable of it, that don't want to take a life, but they completely fine with eating the product of that entity. You're just putting it out of
Exactly.
your mind. It's not happening. It's still happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So even if you're not trying to go vegan, I think it's important to listen to this and to think, what am I eating? What does it make me feel? Is it making me feel good? And if it's making me feel bad, why? And how can I change it? You know what I'm saying? Um, but for you, Steph, what made you switch?
I'll have to think about that. But before I get into that, there's just something else that I want to add to that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to food in general and beverages and just anything that I consume, anything I put into my body, people have this. People think about it, and well, a lot of people that this is what I like. Oh, I just like coffee. I just like coffee with sugar. I like it with 3 sugars. And oh no, I don't want to change because that's what I like. But what you need to understand is that it's all just habits, and it's all just what you're used to. I can promise you, if you drink coffee with 3 sugars, bring it down to 2 sugars. After 2 weeks, that'll be the coffee that you like, and then coffee with 3 sugars will be too sweet. If you drink coffee
That's
with
true.
no sugar black, after a month you'll be used to that and you'll actually prefer it. So it's all about it's all about what you get used to, and that becomes your preference. So people
So it's
that
all about
say, no, I
consequence.
like meat, it's not true. That's just what you're used to. It's just what you're accustomed to.
Exactly.
Just put yourself out there and experience the other side of things. And I promise you, you'll like vegan food more than meat. It's so much better. It tastes so much better and you feel so much better. It's
You
just what
really do.
it's just what you're used to. And
Yeah.
that applies. So my mindset when it comes to food and drink and absolutely anything that I consume is it good for me? That is my very first question. Is this healthy for me? What is it doing to my body? Because the way I think about it is you consuming it, it's becoming a part of your body, it's becoming a part of you. And I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. I want to be the healthiest version of myself that I can be, and the strongest and the fittest and the smartest and all of that. And your diet ties into all of that. It has an effect on absolutely all of that. So why would you consume something that is toxic to your body, that is detrimental to all of those things that I just counted up? Why not instead shift your entire diet? And I mean, when I go shopping, I don't think about what what foods I'm going to make. I don't think about what recipes I'm going to make. I go to the shops and then I buy everything that is good for me. I just go through the entire shops. I'm like, that is good for me. That is good for me. That is a different source of vitamins. That is a different source of iron. That is a different source of calcium or whatever. And that's how I go through the entire shopping center. And when I get to the till, I've got a shopping cart full of the most amazing food. It's absolutely like, it's incredible, beautiful. And I promise you, it tastes so much damn better because your body actually enjoys healthy food. Healthy food tastes damn good. Like, yeah, okay, there's the factor of price. Price becomes a problem because the food industry likes making healthy shit expensive because they know it's good for you, which sucks. But just go fresh. Just stick to fresh stuff because okay, so to answer your question, how I came to being vegan, to be honest, I don't actually remember, but what I do remember, I think part of it was actually it was bodybuilding. I think I started gymming, I started bodybuilding, I started researching everything about bodybuilding, and how to gym and what's the best practices and all of that. And then a big part of that, or what came into it, was diet. And not just proteins. I mean, if you think that what you need to be buff and big is meat and a lot of meat, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You don't know anything about bodybuilding and you haven't done your research. What you need is a shitload of veggies. And that's the first thing that you learn when you actually research diets with bodybuilding, is that you need your veggies. You need your enzymes to break down the proteins. You need your vitamins and all of that to build a big, strong, healthy body. So I think that's what led me towards a healthier diet. And then I guess it just becoming conscious of the world and conscious of what I'm doing over time slowly directed me away from eating meat, or just becoming I mean, I don't even kill a mosquito, well, reluctantly kill mosquitoes. I mean, they really annoying buggers, so eventually it pushes me to that point. But even flies, I try and catch them first and like throw them out the window, because the life of a fly versus the life of a mosquito versus the life of a cow versus the life of a dog versus the life of a human being, a life's a life. I don't see any difference, and I don't understand why other people see a difference. yeah, their lives are shorter, that maybe they don't have less meaning. Your life is meaningless. Like how can you assign more meaning to your life than that of a mosquito?
Yeah. Like a misconception about veganism is actually that people think it's expensive, and it can be depending
Yeah,
on what you buy. But the thing is, if you do shopping like how you said you do, I think that's an excellent way to go
it's
about
so
it
much
because
cheaper. Trust me, my grocery shopping is a hell of a lot cheaper than anyone else's. And I so the two things I look at is what's best for me and how do I get the most calories out of my food. And people
okay,
that want to lose weight and are buying all these low calorie products and all of that, don't do that. It's a big mistake. What you want is calories, you want nutrition. Because calories is
yeah,
nutrition. It's the same thing.
yeah,
But so at the end of when I get there with my shopping cart, I've got my shopping cart packed with full of food, full of calories, and it's all good and it's cheap. I pay a lot less than
yeah,
other, especially meat eaters. I pay a lot less than
yeah.
meat eaters. But
Now, on the other hand,
when it comes to, sorry for interrupting, when it comes to buying meat replacement products, then yeah, you're going to be paying a shitload. But why are you buying food that tastes like meat? Vegan food is better.
exactly.
Vegan food is better. It doesn't have to taste like meat.
Exactly. That's one thing I'll say is don't buy replacement meat products. I mean,
Yeah,
I used to, and I used to love it, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
But then it's like just eat meat, just like what is the point? You're just spending more money at the end of the day. And also the things in the replacement meat products aren't actually that nutritious. It's
No, they're
actually
not.
kind of like soy,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of soy and stuff like that. But on the other hand, you spoke about calories and stuff, and I think a lot of people do go vegan to lose weight, which I think is great because some people really do need to lose weight. I mean, like,
I believe it would work for anyone, but obviously I don't know. I haven't done studies. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it really would. And like some people end up putting on weight, and that happens because they're eating too much carbs. So that is, it's something to consider. You have to actually, you can't now go vegan and then be like, okay, cool, I'm just going to eat like bread every day or whatever.
Yeah,
Because
no, of
like,
course. But we're
'cause-
coming back to carbs. So sorry for interrupting you again. So again, I'm not an expert. I haven't really done my research on it. But what I know about carbs is that you get low GI and you get the other kinds of carbs. So in any case,
mm,
when it comes to your diet, move away from white bread and white
yeah,
potatoes and all those low GI, the carbohydrates that turn into sugars and just burn up really quickly in your system because they don't give you sustainable energy. So you
yeah,
eat it, it burns up, you're hungry again. You eat again, it burns up, you're hungry again.
yeah,
But as soon as you go over to the low GI to foods that like brown breads and seeds and all that takes a lot longer to break down. You stay fuller for longer. You've got
mhm,
energy for longer. And if you've got more energy, so I believe in carbs. Again, I'm not an
mm,
expert. And I know girls suffer,
yeah,
like it's a lot more difficult for girls. I know this, but I believe in carbs, just the right carbs, because it
mm,
gives your body energy. And at the same time,
mm,
stay away from carbs in the evenings. Like that's one thing. Like don't eat carbs just before
okay,
you go to bed, but like eat carbs for breakfast. It's good for you. You need that energy. You need the energy
mm,
to start your day. You'll burn more calories because you have
mm.
energy. Um,
Well, I think that's also different because everyone's body is completely different. Like for me, if I eat
yeah.
carbs in the morning, I'm lazy all day. Like
Okay.
carbs make me so lazy. So I tend to avoid them.
Mhm.
I prefer eating them in the evening because it makes me tired. So then like I sleep
It
better.
makes you lazy to
Um,
sleep. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It's
So
just from a weight watching sense. What I do know is that at night it's actually when you want to avoid it, because then you don't get a chance to actually burn it off. So you really want
yeah,
to
that
avoid
is true
carbs in the
though.
morning. Yeah.
So I will stop doing that. um, yeah. So yeah, I mean that really does help. I want to now stick with this. I don't want to do this thing of like hopping back and forth to veganism and non-veganism. So what would you say helps with sticking there? Would
Okay,
you
so
say
we,
again not being so hard on yourself?
let's face the different situations. At home is easy. At home is
Yeah.
easy because what you do when you go shopping, and if I were you, I would take on that mindset is just don't buy anything that's bad for you. I mean, why are you doing it?
Yeah. Well,
There's absolutely no reason for it.
people get addicted to food. That's why.
I'm like,
To
even
certain
if
kinds of food.
yeah, but even if we take chocolate as an example, it's a habit that you're building. And then 21 days to break a habit. Just don't buy chocolate when you go to the shops for 21 days. Your habit's broken. I mean, pretty much. But yeah. So but besides that, just go with the mindset of everything that I'm buying now, I'm buying because it's good for me, and the pleasure that you get out of buying a chocolate isn't that great. It's not, if you just break that mindset, because it's a slave mentality. It's a just break it, just
Yeah.
stop it. And whenever you go to the shops, I mean, I get it. I actually get agitated, and I get my like my back up when I buy anything that's unhealthy. Like if I had to buy chocolate, it would actually grate me. Even like the pleasure that I would get from it grates me more than like the negative grates me more than the pleasure that I would get from. But when I buy fruit juice, I get super excited when I buy all these healthy foods, and I think about the soup that I'm going to make when I get home, or like whatever meal that I'm going to make when I get home, and how good it's going to taste and how good I'm going to feel from it. I get super excited and I can't wait to get home and eat it. So it's just a different way of thinking about the food that you consume.
So then talking about like addictive foods and stuff, it's so easy to just say, okay, well, go to the shops, don't buy chocolate. It's so easy. But
Yeah.
obviously our brains are stronger than our, motivation sometimes. So would you say it takes, because I've heard this, it takes 3 weeks to break out of a cycle.
21
Would you
days.
say 3 weeks? 21 days, yeah.
21 days to
So,
make or break a habit.
so 21 days of pure cutout, cold turkey, and then you'll be fine. You're right.
But it's
Okay,
about
cool.
it's about intent, and it's about mindset. Remember that.
Yeah.
Don't have a
Yeah.
mindset of, oh, I'm not allowed to. Oh, I'm not allowed to. Oh no, I shouldn't. Everything
Yes, that's
that you
true.
want to quit, everything that you want to quit, don't ever think about, oh no, I shouldn't. You still allowed to.
Yes.
Don't even put yourself on that. That's why I said in the beginning of this, I said you're still allowed to eat meat. Don't put that on yourself. If
Yeah.
somebody comes along and
Yeah.
if you go out on the weekend and you're going and you stop by McDonald's, go buy a damn cheeseburger and eat it. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't put
Yeah.
that
Okay,
restriction on
yeah.
yourself, because as soon as you put that restriction on
Yeah.
yourself, you're not going to accomplish it. You just need to be okay with
See,
whatever,
because that's
and just,
exactly what I do.
yeah, and just change your mindset about it. Just be happier about doing healthy things. Be excited about doing healthy things instead of being
Yeah.
agitated about doing unhealthy things or worried about doing unhealthy things. It's
Yeah.
okay if you do. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's what I do actually. Like, I'm so hard on myself, and I think a lot of people are
Yeah.
this way. So hard and so strict on myself that to the point of like at the end of the day, I feel so depleted that I'll break my, motivational habit, and I'll end up just eating a whole bunch of junk food and meat and stuff, and then I just won't be vegan anymore. And then I'll just be like, well, it just doesn't work every time I try. So
I feel
it
like
is.
I feel like this is something that is especially hard for women, and it's something that especially women suffer with, because it's most likely because there's so much stigma created, or so much pressure to have a healthy diet. Women are placed under so much pressure to be low fat and all that crap. And in any case, low fat products, fuck all of that. Don't do it. Just
I agree. I totally agree. I've
fat
always
is
said
fat
that.
is good for you. Fat is good for you. The good kinds of fat. Don't eat low fat products. All that means is that they took all the goodness out of it and they're giving you crap. But besides the point,
Yeah.
so I feel like women have a lot of pressure when it comes to this, and that's why they caught up in this negative feedback cycle, or in this negative cycle which keeps happening, where they try to break free from this, and then they're so strict on themselves, and oh no I mustn't, and oh no I shouldn't, and then it's like this it's always there, and you're like looking away, no I shouldn't, oh no I shouldn't, instead of just being fine with it being there. It's there, it's fine, I'm allowed to do it, and just being excited about I guess a quote that we could use here is don't focus on building the new instead of fighting the old. It goes a little bit different, but it's a
Mm,
very important way of thinking that applies to a lot of things, which I need to apply a lot. As I struggle with that with a
yeah,
lot of things. I'm too busy fighting the
yeah,
old, and where my focus should just be on building the new. So just focus on building an awesome,
yeah. No, that
healthy
is incredibly
diet that
helpful
you,
to me.
yeah, focus on building a healthy diet that you're excited about because it tastes fucking good and it's good for you. And just picture that in your, that's how I picture it in my mind. I'm consuming this and it's becoming a part of my body. And it's like, oh, so good. This
Mm,
is so good. I'm so happy to eat
yeah,
this. And that's
yeah.
kind of how you should view it. Yeah. Yeah.
It is. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, you've really taught me so much through this, and through our conversation, I've learned so much, and I'm excited to continue on this journey that I've tried to start and stopped so many times, but I'm not going to stop now.
Good. Good. No, that's great. And
Yeah,
enjoy it. I hope that you really enjoy it and that you get super excited about it.
I really am. Thanks.
Awesome. Cara, thanks for being back on the show. You've been great once again. Again, guys, go watch your video on transcending duality. Absolutely awesome video. And thank you for this one, Cara. It's been a great subject and great talking to you about it.
You too. Thanks, Steph.
Cool. Right, guys. So to veganism, like I said, you know it all. You've heard it all before, but hopefully this shoved your perspective a little bit so you can think about putting away that meat. I mean, why do you want it? There's nothing good about meat. Nothing good about it. In any case, if you would like to be on the show as a guest, if there's some topic that is really important to you that you would like to share with the rest of the world, please leave a comment in the comment section below, followed by #ChangeTheMentality. And yeah, thanks for watching the show. Thanks for watching until the end. Like and subscribe, and just leave a comment if you have something else to say in any case. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao.